What's up guys, and welcome back to another replay cast. Today's game is between Flash and Soma. So that's going to be a cool one, I reckon. We're here on Knockout for today's game. This was played at the end of August 2025. Definitely on stream. Looks like it might even have been part of Pro League. So yeah, man, it's going to be awesome. We have Light, we have Best, we have Rush, we have Bisu. So some serious VIPs that are watching the game and probably commentating and engaging with their chat while this is happening. And of course we have Flash and Soma. And if you've been following ASL 21, this is looking like one of the possibilities that the grand final could be. The other one, of course, being Soma against Light. I think everybody's kind of taken it as a given that Soma will make the final. So it'll just be a case of which Terran he plays. So I don't want to get too bogged down in speaking about ASL. I just want to watch this match on its merit. Flash on his stream, translated by Jinjin, was saying that Soma has actually just been smacking him around. So I would just be very, very curious to see how he goes against what many consider to be the best Zerg player in the world. And yeah, man, it's going to be a good one. I think Knockout is a nice, relatively balanced map. And it's featured quite interestingly in competitions as well. So yeah, it's going to be good. Before we jump in, guys, I just want to say I had a real surge of support during ASL, and I quite deliberately brought a lot of the matchups that were sort of on the way during the ASL season. And for the most part, you guys really responded to that really, really well. Lots of comments, engagements, a nice spike in views. So I just want to say thanks for that. We'll be resuming regular programming quite soon, mixing in Artosis, mixing in just other fun pro games, pulling out the old retro pack again. So if you're quite keen on Variety Broodwar and you enjoy what you watch today, please do hit that like button and consider subscribing. Really gives me a little vote of confidence that I'm doing a good thing and I'm on the right track. So that's it in terms of the plugs and slugs. The only other thing I want to say is if you do enjoy hanging out with me on a regular basis, I've got a brand new Discord server that I've just started. I'd really love it if you guys checked it out and came to hang out with me there and get to know me. And if you do, you can get access to today's replay, as well as a lot of the other replays of games that I've done in the past. I think that's a pretty cool little stack of value. All the detail about that in the description box below. So that's it. We have a very cheeky and very aggressive hidden hatchery here. Now Flash's SCV was in the base for quite some time, and I think this pool timing is going to feel really off, which is why he is scouting around here with this SCV, and he's going to find this very quickly. And that's probably going to trigger some sort of move out from him. So he does find it. Absolutely no problem at all. So let's see how he adjusts. I think it's just going to probably force a move out. He's been doing mech so often. You can see here he's got his gas up and running. So we could well be seeing a mech build from Flash here again. And here's the factory. So we definitely are going to get it. We did a game though of his very recently where he did a Valkyrie open and then he pivoted back into bio and then he pivoted back into mech. It was this it was the strangest build ever. I actually can't remember who the opponent was right now, but it was a lot of fun. It was really fun. Might have been against Jadong actually. It was a triple tech switch game. I'd never actually seen anything quite like that. So Soma knows to hold off the initial marine pressure that he's triggered based on the fact that Flash has beautifully scouted his open. He is going to need some Sunkens to defend. So here we go. Sunken is on the way. It's going to fend off, a small part of marines 100% of the time. It's only when this number becomes a bit more meaningful he's going to have to do something. Doing the same here, so making a Sunken at both of his bases. A couple of Lings as well. Should be able to hold on here. Flash has moved out. The goal of the move out really was just to force the Sunkens, because obviously it kills the drone, forces the Zerg to spend resources, slows down the Zerg's progression. Soma actually sniffs a little counter attack here. First vultures on the map, so the secret that this is a mech build is no longer a secret. First vulture goes down pretty cheaply there, which is not ideal from a Flash perspective. His Lings have speed, and he's getting in here, getting quite a bit of damage. These SCVs are going to have to tidy this up. A little bit of micro needed from Flash there on that Marine. But the Flood of Lings continues to flow in here. Don't know if Soma Lings are as dangerous as Jaedong Lings, but I hear the sound of dying SCVs consistently, so they certainly are proving to be dangerous enough. More SCVs coming in here, trying to block this wall up. And he's made a Wraith as well. Oh my god, what a build this is. So he's gone one factory, one port, science vessel, really rushed. This is crazy. What a wicked fun build from Flash. So it's a 1-1-1 but after expanding. Wow. Nice. Soma's getting Hydras, which is pretty early at the stage of the game. So he's actually skipping Lurker entirely. So this game is... sorry, he's not skipping... he's skipping Mutas, which kind of makes sense because I think he had a sense that this was going to be mech. And Zerg's most powerful counter to mech builds is actually just Mass Hydra. So I think we're going to see that from Soma. Although he is now making a Spire to kind of hedge his bets. And it is also making pretty quick Lurker. So definitely not exactly what I expected him to do. But I have no doubt he's going to be able to make it work to some extent. Flash is going to struggle with detection. So Lurkers could certainly be a challenge for him. I don't really know how we would deal with that other than just laying really well placed mines. Kind of is the only idea that springs to mind here. So first Lurker shows himself. And now, I don't really know what you do. Dropship is out. He wants to probably drop a tank or something. It's totally empty at the moment, so it's a fake ship. Just walk straight in the front door. Hi, how are you? Science vessel is going to be the detector on display. That is insane. The Wraith is doing some work here. The ACVs have kind of had to be pulled. This Lurker is very low. Now he's flipping back into barracks, guys. Absolutely crazy. Look at this hero Wraith tidying everything up. So there was no drop action had happened. Now the game's not going to slow down or stop. Because Soma's mutas have arrived. And Flash doesn't seem to have a whole lot of things that shoot up. This hero Wraith is still doing his thing. Flash is losing so many SCVs here. Soma's getting a lot done. So what is going to happen with this weird build? It looks like he's pumping from 3 racks. So he's making Marine Medic, I imagine. He's getting a Radiate. He's getting upgrading infantry weapons. So it's definitely a pivot back into Bio. I don't expect these Lings will get that much done, but they're just a support to the Mutas. The Mutas are really the VIPs on display here. The Radiate has not yet come in. He should have the energy for it. I think it's 100 energy or 75 energy for a Radiate. Perhaps it's 100. We can see that the spell's not fully researched yet, which is why he hasn't used it. Oh my god, Soma actually, he gets an Irradiate off and probably kills 2 Mutas with that. And then he takes down the vessel with a Scourge. This game has been absolutely non-stop from beginning to end. It's quite a nice way to spend a Wednesday evening. It's raining outside. Just got done with work. Had a small like half an hour gap between this and dinner. I'm like, you know what I want to do? I want to switch on a Soma versus Flash game, baby. Let's go. So the purpose of the starport was the Wraith, was to get out the quick vessel, was to obviously make that dropship. But now it just looks like he's going back to standard. He's getting stem at 10 minutes. So definitely a different build. And Soma is just Muta man. No upgrades at this stage. +1 on our Marines. Nothing on our mech as of yet. You wouldn't expect it. Getting now +1 infantry armor. And making more medics. Soma has got more workers than Flash. And Flash is, at this stage of the game, quite far behind in supply. And I don't think that that's a good position for Terran. I don't think you have to be that much of an expert on the game to know that if you have a 12 supply deficit at 10 minutes against Zerg, and you have a 7 worker deficit against Zerg, you're in a spot of bother. I will say Flash was definitely in an experimentation phase where he was just trying a bunch of whole different builds. So some games he plays when he's practicing and sort of building on his game are gonna, you know, look silly. Not everything works all the time, and that's okay. So I think it's important to differentiate a cast that you'll just watch between two players where they're practicing or working on things versus the competition games that you get to watch, whether it's KCM or ASL or Pro League or whatever the case might be. Even Pro League to some degree, they're still just testing things out and trying things. Their main builds that they're kind of like sticking to and wanting to pull out in competitions, they've been prepping those in advance of the competitions for quite some time. And that's why it can look quite different, just games between two players when they're practicing and when they actually meet each other in a competition. And that's also what makes the results quite unpredictable, right? Which is probably good for the sport in general. So Flash has made a bit of a comeback now. He's ahead in supply. He's level on workers. A couple of these muta trades from Soma's perspective didn't actually go too well. I think the vessels have kind of made it that the mutas have run, the usefulness of the mutas have run its course. Siege mode's on the way, defilers are on the way, more lurkers are on the way. I think we're going to get more of like a Hydra lurker composite from Soma as we move into the middle of this game. Still on 3 bases. It's been on 3 bases pretty much through the entire game. And I think his plan now is to try and just hold this move out from Flash. And then based on that, he may look to expand to a 4th. Lurkers are in position here. Another radiate on one of the lurkers. So kind of repositioning here. Looks like he's going to get his units a little wedged up here, but I don't think you want to go in with infantry if you can avoid it. So repositions everything again. Hopefully this lurker's getting a bit stuck and taking quite a lot of hits. But he's positioned everything quite nicely. He's decided the natural's where he wants to make his stand. But the siege tanks are making the lurkers' lives very, very tricky. Oh my god. The spines there, bro. Holy crap and holy. So we have 2 tanks. 3 tanks. Lurkers on the high ground. Guardians are being made as well. Not to be outdone is Soma, mixing it up. Very greedy and aggressive build. More vessels, and Flash is on your front door, guys. And I don't really care who you are. You can be the best Zerg in the world, or you can be a potato Zerg. It just sucks to have this dude on your front door, bro. I didn't select everybody else's vision. That's what he scanned. Oh, he's gonna pick off 1 vessel. The Guardians have arrived. Hello. The flying space crabs, baby. It picks off another vessel. That's really, really good Scourge play from Soma. So now the retreat is retreating. Soma's supply is really low. That trade and that fight went really well from Flash's point of view. Just scanning over here to see what there is. Oops. So moving his army all around town. More Radiator Guardians. Guardians are kind of isolated from everything else. Not making Goliaths or anything to deal with this. Just backing himself to do it with the Marines is Flash, and rightfully so. Just this random split off of militia forces on the front door of Soma's Natru is going to have a very tough time taking a third, and suddenly Flash has moved into a 30 supply lead. And this game has swung really emphatically in the other direction, which is kind of crazy. Oh, what a lurker spire. Oh my god. Oh, two absolute crackerjack lurker spines. I think it doesn't change much though. Soma is really under the pump here. Nobody's really ever built up a massive amount of workers, supply, just general amounts of macro. It's been quite a macro slender game, if that makes sense. Okay, that's all been tidied up as well. No real sieging on this base as of yet. So once again, Flash is on the front door. It's got some fire bats in here. Look at this. You know you mean business when you bring fire bats to the party. That's for sure. How they don't burn each other in the crossfire there. That is hilarious. Friendly fire splash damage with tanks for sure. Alright, by the way guys. There's a dude in the comments who says Plague is a rubbish spell. In other words, you can throw a spell onto units regardless of their armor, and it'll take the health from 150 down to 3, which means one Ling can hit one tank once and it'll die. And according to this bro, that is just absolutely useless. Who would want to be able to do that? So you tell me. I'm not going to say he's wrong, I'm not going to say he's right, I'm just going to tell you that's what he said in the comments. We've gone with a drop ski. I don't know what the drop did. I think you had to pull some units there. Alrighty, I think Flash is now going to swing the killer blow here. So, looks like he's donating all of his units to science for some strange reason. And Soma has left the game. Okay. Bit of a strange way for that one to end, but nonetheless. It was a really weird one, I think. You know, Flash had... it's weird that everybody's left the game and yet the game is still running. Oh, there we go. Now it's stopped. It was really weird. So Flash was behind. Soma got that third base up really fast. But then the muta trading just went really badly. And the fact that Flash takes so quickly into vessels really held him in good stead because he was able to neutralize the power of the mutas. Then he moved into this lovely sort of tank bio hybrid style with vessel support. And was just able to trade really well and camp on the natural, and that was good enough. Soma was kind of stuck. He couldn't expand, he couldn't really counter, couldn't really break, even with defilers and that sort of tech. Flash was just a bit too strong in this game. So that was a good one. I really enjoyed it. I was not expecting, or I had no preconceived notions about the results one way or other, but this was definitely a convincing win and I enjoyed it. I've got a couple more games between these two that I'll bring to you relatively soon. So subscribe for those if you'd like to see them, and I'll see you tomorrow regardless of what weird wonderful things I decide to cost. Thank you so much for watching guys. You take it easy. Bye.